Besides all of your Olympic headlines, though, we are also following some breaking news out of Farmington this morning.
Plus, we're watching and waiting to see if Vice President Kamala Harris will announce her running mates. So we're following that. Also, take a look at this. Thousands of people waking up without power this morning. We had our issues of our own here in our building. The Xcel Energy outage map shows around 3,000 customers across the Twin Cities metro are in the dark right now. Not exactly sure what's causing the power outage, but we're going to update you as soon as we learn more. John, yesterday was a roller coaster of weather.
We got a little of everything. Cool temperatures with our rain here in the cities. We'll talk about those rain totals in a bit, but we picked up cool conditions from that. High temperatures in the 60s are going to leave us with temperatures now in the 50s and low 50s. It's pretty common to have some low clouds, or what this is actually a little fog trying to set up. That will mix out and will be sunny. So it's technically going to be clear. That behind you is just going to be a little fog, which is common. How about 40s to the north? 50 this morning in Brainerd. Dare I say light coat? Question mark? It's borderline for some of us. But look at this. Once we can mix out that little cloud cover, it's going to be a fabulous day in the 70s. Like I said, we'll take a look at those rain totals. We'll take a look at some of the tornadoes in southern Minnesota. That's going to be in your full forecast. CZ.
Hello, happy Tuesday to you. The first crash I'm seeing during our show actually popped up a few minutes ago. It's in New Brighton. You see here 35W southbound. It's right between County Road 88 and County Road D. You can see some action here on the left shoulder. It's not slowing many things down. You see cars still going past fine. But if you're headed down toward Roseville, just be on the lookout for that. No need to add any extra time, though. I'll let you know when things clear up. Also seeing a crash on 94 eastbound there in Minneapolis. I'll have more on that next too. Alicia.
All right, we'll check back in a little bit. Thank you, Cece. We do need to update you right now on a deadly house fire in Farmington.
Yeah, we've been getting updates from fire officials on scene for the past 6 hours now. Let's check in with Michelle Beck. Michelle, you've been on scene all morning long. What can you tell us?
And Jason, Alicia, as I've told you in the last hour, the fire chief has confirmed with us that one person has died as a result of the basement fire. And about 10 minutes ago, I spoke with a next door neighbor who just kind of paints the gravity and the extreme sadness about the situation. He revealed to me that about a family of 5 live here in this home behind me. All very nice people, he says. And he told me when police told one of the surviving family members about this tragedy, that person apparently fell to the ground, fell on his knees. So you guys, you can just tell the extreme sadness again of this whole situation. You can see better in this daylight now that we have just the extreme damage, especially to the side of this home. You can see the ways that things have just melted off, the ways that things are still black and brown, just charred from what happened here overnight. In this overnight video taken around midnight or so, you can just see the number of fire crews out here. You can also see family members out here really emotional about what's gone on. And according to the Farmington fire chief, he tells us that one victim was found in the basement. He's not revealing at this time if that person is an adult or a child, if that person is a man or a woman. He also tells us when crews arrived, they saw a fire in the basement. That's when they started hitting the home with water and began searching the home. Besides the one victim, no others were believed to be inside the home during that fire. And guys, all this is happening in the 5300 block of the upper 182nd Street West here in Farmington. And you may have seen those images yourself. Those images really compelling of the family members out here just absorbing all that is going on. Again, really a really sad way to start the morning here. Jason, Alicia.
Yeah, just heartbreaking. Michelle, thank you for your report this morning. Turning now to another big story we're keeping an eye on. According to multiple reports, Governor Tim Walz is just one of 2 finalists left in the running to become Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate. That decision could come down at any moment, literally any moment now. Audrey Russo is live outside the governor's mansion tracking this developing story. Audrey.
Yeah, Jason, so far this morning, just within the last 5 minutes or so, we've seen a little bit of motion here at the governor's mansion, some people walking around inside. I will say, though, we've looked inside the window of what appears to be the kitchen. It looks like it's just maintenance crews here doing work on the mansion, so we are still waiting for a little bit more definitive proof. I've been keeping my eyes glued to the Harris campaign website, to her social media, to Governor Walz's social media to see if there's been any kind of hint dropped, and so far, none that I can see. Now, Governor Walz, if he were the pick, he would have to be pretty much in Pennsylvania by now, because we know that that is where Vice President Harris is set to make her official choice. They're going to start in Pennsylvania and then move on with a multi-state battleground tour, trying to campaign, trying to make that last-minute appeal to folks who live in those states where every vote really does count. That is where she's decided that she's going to introduce this vice presidential candidate, whoever it may be, to the national stage. We do know that Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro was also on her short list. He'd have a lot shorter drive than Governor Walz, that's for sure. But again, we know that this is coming sometime this morning. Now, we do have a copy of Governor Walz's public schedule for the day, and it's empty. He's got a completely open schedule. So again, this could all just be a fake out. Who's to say really what's going to happen? But we know that we are going to be keeping our eyes locked in to see exactly what happens, and we'll bring you that information as soon as we know it. Now, in the last 12 hours, Governor Walz was wrapping up a fundraiser for the Harris campaign, and he was doing that here in Minnesota. At the same time, we do know that Kamala Harris has secured the nomination per the Democratic National Committee. That information came out last night as well. So really a lot that we're focusing on here, both on the national stage and on a statewide scale, because a lot of people are wondering, how do Minnesotans feel about this? I'll have more on that coming up in the next half hour, but for now, I'll send things back to you.
All right, and again, this could happen at any moment. We know, Audrey, you're on top of it. Thank you so much. To stay updated on this developing story, make sure you stick with KARE 11. Our political reporter, John Croman, is actually in Philadelphia bringing us coverage from Harris's first campaign rally, where she'll introduce her running mate. Turning now to your Olympics coverage. Minutes ago, Shoreview native and Olympic sailor Laura Dahlman-Weiss hit the water in Marseille.
Yeah, she's competing right now in the mixed dinghy race, trying to advance to the medal rounds. And this morning, our Alexis Rogers is out on White Bear Lake in Delwood for a pep rally for Paris, all for Laura. Hey, Alexis.
Hey guys, you got to take all this in. You see the smoke on the water. It literally looks like a movie scene. And we're learning a lot of things today. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Toby over here. Okay, so Toby, you teach a lot of people a lot of things on this lake. So how important is the knot?
The knots are really important. They're what hold all of our sails up, all of the ropes in, so they're really important.
Okay, so I want to learn. I'm going to warn you, though, my knot tying skills, I'm not very sure of them. So I'll go ahead and give this to my colleague right here. Thank you so much. Okay, how do we do this?
Yeah, so one of the first knots that we teach sailors is called the square knot. This is the knot that we use to tie two ropes together. So we're going to take the two ends in our two hands, and we're going to cross right hand over left hand, and then around, and then left hand over right hand, and then around.
Okay, so right hand over left hand, around.
Yep.
All right, and then left hand over right hand.
Yep.
Around.
Yep, and pull that nice and tight.
Okay, Toby. Here we go. See, my knot doesn't look like your knot.
It sometimes happens.
And so where would you put this?
So we would use these to, anytime we're tying two ropes together, to make a longer rope, or hold a rope from getting lost. This is sort of our go-to knot for that.
Okay, so I know that my skills are limited. Your skills going far. Show me a more complicated knot.
Yeah. So we also have a knot called a bowline, and we use this knot to hold some of our sails up to the top of the mast. So we can make a loop, and then we can put the rope up, around, and then back down. It makes a nice loop, and this will never come undone.
Oh my goodness. See, if only all relationships were like that, that would be very good. Toby, thank you so much. And of course, these are the really cool things that you have to keep in mind with the sport of sailing. And of course, they're rooting on Laura Dahlman-Weiss. We'll be back in a little bit, learning a little bit more. Back to you.
Yeah, that's why they call it